Catapooolt, which is India's one of the fastest growing crowdfunding platform. But before I start about Catapooolt, I think I totally agree with what Manish has been saying about social ventures. So I think social ventures are nothing but regular businesses, but which have a very, very important differentiator. They actually create an impact in the life of their consumers, and they basically work towards upliftment of the consumers that they're serving to. And that is what makes social ventures really interesting and really impactful. So social ventures have always been not just making products, making services, but they also have been, in a way, helping people to get on the ground, to get off the ground, to get more efficient, to get more effective. So why not social ventures use these very people to get funding? And that is an angle which not many have thought before, and unfortunately, till date, a lot of social ventures have been depending on only few funds or the government support for their survival, because most of the times they need constant funding to reach to a level that they can then become self-sustainable. But now there is a new thing which is capturing the whole world, and that new thing is called crowdfunding. And crowdfunding is becoming one of the very powerful tools which is helping the social ventures to become self-sustainable. I had a small presentation, if someone can note that. So while we wait for that to start up, let me just quickly explain what crowdfunding is all about. So crowdfunding is nothing but you're now monetizing the whole aspect of collaboration with your society and with the economy. Crowdfunding means that when you approach back your people and you start raising funds and raising contributions for your project. So again, now start. So as we all know that every success begins with collaboration. When you start with an idea, you cannot do it alone. You always need people to help you out in different perspectives, and that itself is the cornerstone of crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is nothing but taking collaboration to a next level. It basically means that now, instead of going to one person or just one government support for fundraising, can I actually go back to 1,000 people and tell them to each invest 1,000 rupees in my idea and use that money to then deliver on my product or deliver on my service, and then slowly become self-sustainable. So that itself is all about what crowdfunding is all about. If you look at it, and these figures are indeed quite old, these are almost 2 years back. Crowdfunding today is almost an $8 billion industry worldwide. And if you believe it, almost the largest category of crowdfunding is social projects, is social causes, is social ventures. So worldwide, 30% of crowdfunding is today helping the social ventures, and a lot of social causes, a lot of social enterprises is today using the power of crowdfunding to finally make products for the people who really matter. And they don't have to then depend on few financials or few economic objectives to be able to fulfill their dreams. And that is what crowdfunding is all about. So as I said, till date a social venture was seen as someone who will be helping the people on ground, which is totally true. But what crowdfunding is doing is that these people can now go back and help the social venture. So these people itself, your consumers itself can become your funders. So crowdfunding is nothing but pre-selling. Crowdfunding is nothing but actually reaching out to many more people to help you out. So it's like, so if you are catering to a specific set of customers, but then there's a whole ambit of other customers who would like to know what you're doing. So crowdfunding is reaching out to those guys. For example, if your social venture is established in certain states of India, but can you now reach out to urban cities? Can you reach out to people, HNI investors who would be keen to be part of your venture? So till date there was no way to do it. But with crowdfunding, you can actually start taking and involving those people as well into your social venture, and that is what this whole medium is empowering you to do. Just to briefly touch upon what we do at Catapooolt. We basically bring together three key elements of how you can use the whole power of collaboration to support your social ventures. One, as I said, was crowdfunding. So it basically means that if you're working on an idea, if you're working on a specific concept which will help a specific set of customers, you can now reach out to a lot more different people who can help you to put together that venture. You do not have to necessarily depend only on few limited funding sources or just the government support for your sustenance and for your build-up. And that is what crowdfunding is all about. Second, we also enable crowdsourcing, which means that if you're looking out for some specific talent, you're looking out for some more specific community support. For example, I may be looking out for distribution partners for my social venture. This is what Catapooolt can today enable you to do, because Catapooolt basically links you to the community, and you can then start exploring that whole community to look out for resources that you may need for your business. And the third element that we are now trying to bring is what we call as hybrid funding, wherein we are also trying to bring together a few social investors and who may then have a look at your social venture and may decide to support your venture. So that is what we do at Catapooolt, and as I mentioned, crowdfunding is today the new future of funding, which today globally is helping a lot of ideas and a lot of social enterprises especially to engage with people, to talk with people, to let people tell you what help and what support do you need to finally fulfill your ultimate social objectives. And I believe that all of you should look at this emerging medium, and I'm sure that it will help a lot more social enterprises. I leave it to invite Asif now and for the next talk.